That window right there above my head, that's my window. Let's go inside and see what the fuck
goes on around here. Kind of good idea, maybe a bad idea. Who knows? Ha ha ha.
What's up? What? We are?
Yeah, did they come tell you last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Normally they don't make me open the door. She's like, open your door, and I open my door and I end up staying up for an extra 3 hours. Like I've fallen asleep. It's like when I was incarcerated. And the drug lady comes by and wakes people up at 10, 11 at night saying, take your meds, take your meds. Motherfuckers already sleeping. The fuck they need that shit for?
But we tired. We shit.
Yeah.
So we get right in the morning and shit.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the
man.
fuck?
I'm just making food rice videos. I'm cooking lentils. You ever cook lentils and rice?
What we gotta cook, buddy?
Yeah, man. Thanks, bro. I'll see you later. I'm glad we're getting a new roommate. I hope they fucking cool. Not a bunch of assholes. Like the motherfuckers used to make PCP and shit in here, and maybe even meth. Meth in the oven, maybe too, man. I wouldn't cook in the oven no more. Maybe that's my mistake. Cook it in the oven. Yeah. When you don't have money or Tupperware, you got to be resourceful. So for my lentils and beans, the food I'm taking with me today, I'm putting it in this container I just made from the water container. And now I have to go pee in a cup for pretrial services and see my pretrial case manager or whatever he's called, my supervision. I guess if you were incarcerated and let out, he'd be called a parole officer, but I'm with pretrial services. And so I'm just getting my stuff together. I have my peach under that bowl because peaches attract bugs, apples don't. So millions of peaches for free. There's a tree at the bottom of the hill that has peaches, and there's a bunch of the peaches on the ground. And a couple of days ago I was walking past and I was thinking about it, and this peach here cost about $1 or $1.20. So there's probably like all kinds of peaches that are just going to waste. And I saw about 10 kids and I was like, damn, all them kids could eat peaches, and all them peaches on the ground, each one is a dead dollar or whatever. And guess what? With these peaches, like, people could eat them, and that's actually money. I mean, so there's a community garden at the church, which is right across the street, and they probably would like to see those peaches get eaten. They have 3 pit bulls in their yard. I grew up around the advent of pit bulls being popular when I was living in Richmond in the 90s, and now pit bulls are the rage. You can't really get homeowners insurance oftentimes if you have a pit bull. So people will say, oh, it's a Staffordshire Terrier, or it's a mutt, or they make up another name. They don't say pit bull. And something most people don't realize, the bigger the pit bull, the less game or dangerous they are. A small pit bull is always more dangerous than a large pit bull. And the strange thing about pit bulls is their jaws lock. I don't think any other dogs do that except for pit bulls. It's like having vice grips with gigantic So if a pit bull locks onto you, you're not getting that dog off without a pry bar or beating the dog or injecting the dog. And pit bulls have been known to jump up a tree and hang on a branch or a rope. Sometimes they hang for a very long time until they fucking pass out and fall off. It's something mentally ingrained into pit bulls. No other dogs do that. However, other dogs can run and jump and climb as high as pit bulls. And anyways, who cares? But I do have to go up to the courts here in a few minutes. And a big-ass helicopter just flew right over. The other night it was pretty cool. A helicopter flew over at night and actually shined a spotlight right down the middle of the street. And they actually tend to fly over wherever I am in the city sometimes. Yesterday some jets flew by Foggy Bottom and sprayed smoke. I've never seen that. I'm guessing they were like Blue Angels or Thunderbirds or somebody like that. They sprayed smoke, and the smoke was red and green and yellow and white. Now, that is incorrect traditionally. The colors should have been black and green and red and yellow. So putting white in there is putting the white man's White House Casablanca touch on it, which is not cool. I don't appreciate it. It actually makes me angry. And if you don't know about those colors, look up Marcus Garvey, the honorable and esteemed and person in heaven Marcus Garvey, who the United States government framed when about 100 years ago maybe a little bit more. He had a newspaper that was read worldwide with readers 400 million, 4 million strong. 4 million readers worldwide just around World War I, just before World War I. He also started the first quote-unquote black-owned shipping line called Black Star Lines. And there was a person who got in there, stole the money, and then Garvey was set up to go to prison in the East Atlanta prison for 3.5 years before they sent him back to Jamaica, a broken man. Many people say he was the first Rastafari leader of the world out of Jamaica. And before he came to the United States and became popular in New York City and then worldwide, he traveled the entire Caribbean area, going from country to country and island to island to see what the colonists had done to disrupt, confuse, and separate people. He was bringing people together worldwide for all people, not just for quote-unquote black people or Jamaican people. So let's look to history, let's look to reality, and let's also never, ever, ever, ever forget evil, because we have to stop evil on the planet. And that's probably like, that's what I see as one of my callings, is to stop evil on the planet. And it's a gigantic undertaking. And who do I think I am to do that? I don't know. But if you want to know what miracles are, talk to your friends who read the Bible or the Quran every day and have done so for years. And they will tell you there's been something changing strangely. So people say these things are impossible. Of course, they say ESP is not real either. Psychic. You know, there's all kinds of things that have been done to mess people up and screw us up. Unfortunately, they've done it at the leadership level, and now they have to stop. And why? Because we have to save all the people, all the children, all the elders, and everybody who's infirmed and can't even figure out what's going on. And I know people will support my messages and my ideas once I get it together and stop being an emotional basket case with rantings and ravings on videos. Although the rantings and ravings I've done here in the city of Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, these past 3.5 years or so, have mostly been silent. I've been quiet about it. And I've been around world leaders and leaders of the United States for years being silent about what I'm doing. And they know I've been sitting here praying and making art and wondering what to do. And what they did is they sent a crew to break my head. And if I'm ever lucky enough, and if the community's ever lucky enough, those folks will go to prison for what they did. And so that's what I'm hoping, is those folks go to prison for what they did to me. That's when I lost my teeth, had my face ripped open. I was hit in the face with a wooden war club, a deadly weapon called a shillelagh, and a baseball bat that I guess was covered in mud to look like a rusty pipe. The big guy, I think, was going to hit me in the face with the baseball bat covered with mud. And the little guy was going to hit me in the back of the head with a shillelagh, which would have popped my skull and my face would have been smashed and covered in mud and nobody would have cared. However, since I got a little bit ruckus and grabbed their fucking little flag and ripped it and kicked their shit over real quick, I was hit in the face with the shillelagh and hit in the back of the head with a pipe. The little guy, Jacob Ward, is in the psycho unit somewhere around here. He's being held as a crazy man. The big guy's still on the loose, Bob, but they call him James Jackson. And guess what? I saw him about a month and a half, 2 months ago out in the community. In fact, they fucking killed me first. And then after they killed me, somehow I was just seeing light. I got up and ran, and I saw the whole gang there. And I almost made it, I think. And then I got the fucking beat down of a lifetime. And that was that. Oh, that's my roommate, Tony. He just told me we're getting a new roommate. Anyways, wish me luck today. I'm guessing whatever chemicals the streets or the organizations of evil powers have been putting into me are chemicals that don't show up on drug tests when I go to the mental health courts to go piss in a cup for my deferred judgment sentencing stuff. It's dumb shit. I don't know. The American law system is dumb. Basically, if you have troubles, you just pay people. And if you can't pay them, then you spend time and you get adjudicated and put in your slot and told to stay in line and shut the fuck up. Guess what we're not good at doing? Being me, we. I've got emotions, and these are them. always got to simmer your rice. Another thing that most people don't know is you can cook rice and lentils together at the same time. And lentils have very good nutrition, special, different than other beans.
Once the water comes to a boil, you lower it to simmer. Simmer down, let it simmer down. Also, put a couple little dip of sesame oil. Increases the best flavor for your rice. So I woke up and started doing a couple of things. Almost immediately after I got up, which I usually wake up before sunrise, but I was up till about 4 in the morning working on some art and praying. And I woke up, and as soon as I opened my door to go use the bathroom to brush my teeth, everything was normal. Then I heard a crashing noise in the room next door, which is where Tony lives. Of course, staff call him a different name, and there was a guy named Rodney who lived there too. Staff called Rodney a different name as well.
The helicopter right overhead. And that wasn't no little Civil Air Patrol helicopter. That was one of them big junkies.
But not the gigantic ones, the new ones that are like flying helicopter airships. So it was a clunking noise, like purposeful, and then the smell in the air changed in the apartment. It's the same smell I smelled in the airplane about 10 minutes before the airplane landed in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago on the 1st of August. Then, when I rode the bus back, about 10 minutes, right when we started to get into D.C. off of the BW Parkway, pulling into the city, the lady who's running the bus starts snapping her switches and I smelled that same smell. Well, I just smelled it now after Tony did his clunking noises. Now I hear ringing in my ears and my phalanges are cold. Both my hands first, and now my toes are cold. And I'm wearing shoes. I was barefoot at the time wearing flip-flops. So, whatever the fuck's going on around here, I don't appreciate the smells in the air or whatever those smells equate to. And I don't appreciate them doing it to people on buses and planes or in halfway houses like this place here in Anacostia called Valley Place, where I've been living since February 1st. So, this roommate here is called Tony. The other guy was named Rodney. However, when they put a note to Mr. Rodney Peels outside the door the other day, for him they supposedly get, it had a different name on it, not Rodney. So why does staff call my roommates a different name than what the roommates tell me their names are? Am I living in a rave party or some other clandestine place? Simple answer, most fucking likely. Will I make it out alive? Will my brain still work when I leave here? Or will I be more fucked up, which I am? I'm more fucked up now than when I moved here because of how they've treated me. Watch my other videos. Figure it out.